What if the man God chose to confront the most powerful king on earth was afraid to speak? What if the leader who would one day part the sea once ran away in fear? What if your weakness is not a problem, but the very reason God wants to use you? This is not a fairy tale. This is not a myth. This is real. This is the true Bible story of Moses, a broken man with a painful past who became the deliverer of a nation. And before this video ends, you may realize something surprising. This story sounds a lot like yours. God has a pattern. He chooses the unlikely, the overlooked, the broken. Moses was not confident. He was not trained as a prophet. He was not even willing at first. But God does not call the qualified. He qualifies the called. To understand this, we must go back to the beginning. Moses was born in a time of terror. The Pharaoh of Egypt feared the growing Hebrew population. So he made a law. Every Hebrew baby boy must be thrown into the river. Fear filled every home. But Moses' mother chose faith over fear. She placed her baby in a basket and trusted the river with what mattered most. That basket carried more than a child. It carried God's plan. By divine timing, Pharaoh's own daughter found him. The child meant to die was raised in the palace of the enemy. Only God can write stories like this. Moses grew up surrounded by wealth, education, and power. He wore royal clothes. He lived like a prince. But inside, he knew he was different. He belonged to the slaves, not the throne. Many people today live this way, successful on the outside, conflicted on the inside. Moses stood between two worlds and didn't know where he belonged. One day Moses saw an Egyptian beating a Hebrew slave. Something broke inside him: anger, pain, a desire for justice. Moses acted, but not God's way. He killed the Egyptian. That single moment destroyed his palace life. The prince became a criminal. The future leader became a fugitive. Moses ran into the desert. Sometimes God allows our plans to fail, so his purpose can begin. 40 years, not days, not months. 40 long years in the wilderness, from palace halls to lonely deserts. Moses became a shepherd. No applause, no recognition, only silence. But the desert was not punishment, it was preparation. God was removing pride. God was teaching patience. God was shaping a leader. Your waiting season is not wasted time. One ordinary day, Moses saw a bush on fire, but it wasn't burning up. Then God spoke. Moses, not prince, not failure, on Moses. God said, I have seen the suffering of my people. But Moses resisted. Who am I? What if they don't believe me? I am slow of speech. Moses saw his weakness. God saw his power. Then God said 4 words. Words that still change lives today. I will be with you. That was enough. God sent Moses back to the place he ran from. Back to Egypt. Back to Pharaoh. Moses didn't go confident. He went obedient, and he didn't go alone. Plague after plague, God revealed his authority. The gods of Egypt fell powerless. Finally, Pharaoh broke. Go. The slaves were free, but freedom is often followed by fear. The people stood trapped. The sea in front, the army behind. No escape, no options. They panicked. Moses stood still. God said, move forward. Moses lifted his staff. The sea opened. Walls of water rose on both sides. They walked through, on dry ground. What looked impossible became a pathway. The man who once said, I can't speak, became God's voice. The man who ran in fear now led a nation. God didn't erase Moses' past. He redeemed it. Your weakness does not disqualify you. It positions you for God's grace. Your story is not over. Maybe you feel broken, unworthy, afraid. So did Moses, and God still chose him. If God could use Moses, he can use you. Don't run from the burning bush. Your calling may begin right where your fear ends. If this story spoke to your heart, like this video, subscribe for more powerful Bible stories and share it with someone who feels unqualified today.